Hello, I'm sure by now you've heard maybe the phrase podcast, or someone says, "Hey, I have a new podcast," and you would like to go listen to it, but you don't really know what a podcast is, or maybe you're not familiar with how to use your smartphone, your iPhone in this case. And so, I'm going to take a minute to show you how to use your iPhone. In most cases, you're going to be able to, you're already going to have the podcast app, which is the purple icon here. Uh, and there's a lot of other ways to access the podcast, but in iPhone, they have a dedicated app to the to your iPhone. So if you can't find it, you can just open up the App Store and just type in podcast app, and it's going to bring it up, and then you can just open up podcast, and then it's going to take you to the the podcasting app here, and in my case, I already have some. You can click on my podcast, and you can see that I have some, and it gives you updates on all the different ones you can listen to. And then if you open up like the Dave Ramsey show here, I can listen to an episode by just tapping on it. Okay. And then I can also look for more shows by clicking on the feed, and that shows me his other shows. In his case, he only has his most recent show, so if I go to Serial, I could go to feed, and I can see they have a lot more shows to look at. So they have other settings that you can look at. You'll have to experiment with that. You can also look at top of the charts and what's featured as well. So these are the most popular items. If you have a friend or someone that or a podcast that you're particularly interested in, you can type in their name or the name of the podcast. Now, if you type in their name, and we'll use Dave Ramsey as an example, it may bring up their show directly, or it may bring up shows that they've been in or topics that they're related to, depending on the popularity, or just depending on a couple of varieties. So what you want to do is tap directly on the show that you think might be theirs and look at the reviews. Make sure that's the show. You can just, in this case, I'm already subscribed, but normally over in that right-hand area right there, you see where it says subscribed. At the top right-hand corner, you can just hit subscribe, and it'll add it to your My Podcast section. But let's see this one here where it says The Ziglar. That's probably Zig Ziglar's shows. I could hit subscribe and add that to my podcast feed, and then I'd start getting shows from there. Now, he's got a lot of shows. Once I listen to them, I could leave reviews or look at the reviews before I subscribe to it. And then if I wanted to find more material like that, more podcasts like that, I could look at related. So now this video is just a short overview. You can back it up and watch it over again and again. And don't be afraid to Google and YouTube how to use your podcasting app to find other related materials. And if someone has a podcast that you know of, don't be afraid to ask them. They're more than happy to help you. Guide you to get it done because they want to make sure you listen to their show. Have a good day.